What's up, guys? Welcome back to FBC. Family
Yeah,
by
in the
Choice,
building.
where we are helping families live life by having real, transparent conversations.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Are y'all ready?
Let's do it. What we here?
So what we talking about?
Man, today, who dropped this? Amy?
Yes.
This was your idea.
Yeah. So this is my show. I just was, I want to talk about, because we all work so closely with our spouses. How do you navigate working with, side by side with your spouse and still kind of maintaining sanity at the same time? So like working really closely, maybe starting a business, maybe already have a business, maybe, work side by side.
Right.
And so, so Jason and I are working together now. And trying to navigate through that space.
So my first question is, how has working through that space been going for y'all before we even dive in? So we can just kind of check the temperature of the room.
Right.
Well, I'm going to let her talk about that because I'm not having the issues that she's having.
He never does because, if you know Jason...
Well, no, we don't. What does that mean? It's a lot. It's a lot of underlying.
But the world doesn't.
So y'all working together. Y'all started a business. Y'all working together daily now. Close quarters, on each other's nerves. Is that it? I don't know.
Yeah. So we're just yes. So I have a way of doing things which is very quiet,
Right.
and he's very loud about everything we do.
I got you.
So he's loud about it. I'm quiet about it.
When you say you're quiet about it, he's loud about it. What do you mean? Like,
I just move in silence. Like, we just do things, or even
like your movement. You're quiet about your movement.
Movement. I'm quiet. I'm just if something comes up, I'll take time to think about it. So like, it just takes me a lot more time to make a decision.
Yeah.
Than I think Jason would like.
Yeah.
And then I also just stop once I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
So then now I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
And so
So then I just stop. And I'm not doing nothing. I'm just gonna stop.
You just tap out.
I quit. Quietly quit.
Quietly quit.
I quietly work and I quietly
she's
quit.
not quietly quitting. It's quite loud.
It's a loud quit.
It's very much to me,
But quiet work.
Maybe to everybody else, but to me, I hear it louder.
I got you.
So, Amy, so this is where our issue is. It's in the business and what we do. We have to let people know that we do it.
Right.
So if we don't let people know that we do it, how do they know that the business exists?
Exactly.
Right.
She's mad at me for telling people that we have a business.
Okay.
I'm a salesman.
Right.
I'm selling the business. Like, I literally get new clientele every single day.
Right.
She sees it happen. And she's like, she wants to analyze the clientele. We don't have time for that. We need to bring in revenue.
Right.
So in order for us to bring in revenue,
We need
got
clients.
to go ahead and we can get selective later on down the line. But right now, let's reel it in.
Probably,
Let's reel it
yeah.
in. Let's do what we need to do. So I try. Because I know I can be a lot, and I know I'm a lot because I'm y'all just said be 1,000. I'm 1,001. Like
if you 1,001, I'm 1,002.
and I'm a million.
That's gonna keep going.
We will.
Okay.
And that's why me and
What
him
we
have to
talking
have.
about?
Okay.
I've already told B. I text him. I say,
Okay.
B, me and you gonna have a one-on-one conversation, just about faith, about a faith walk.
Okay.
Because both of us are dreamers. We're very big dreamers,
Right.
but we dream so big that it's probably sometimes unbelievable to others. But to me and him, it's reality.
Right.
It's within our grasp.
Right.
Well, my wife is a realist. I'm a dreamer. She grounds me in reality, but right now I'm not in that place.
Got you.
Right now I have to dream. It's my purpose. Because the more people I tell this unbelievable story to, when it comes to pass, they're gonna know where it came from.
Right.
That's the key.
Right.
She doesn't get that. Because again, how she
So you think she don't get it, or what? So
I
you
think
don't
that
get it, Amy?
We've talked about it several times.
Do you get it?
Just Oh, God, I'll let
So
I'll let you talk.
that word "don't get it" bothers me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It bothers me.
Does it bother you or does it trigger you?
It's triggering.
So basically, you don't get anything that y'all doing. You don't get it.
He's trying to trigger you.
I'm getting clarity. I'm getting clarity.
I love that question. Please.
I'm getting clarity.
We're all waiting for an answer. Do you understand what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I understand.
All right.
Empathetically speaking,
Yo,
because I'm not, I wouldn't call myself a realist, but my husband is a dreamer too. He's a visionary. You know what I'm saying? And he's really good about casting vision and delegation. That's what he's really good at. And being the partner of a visionary, when you know you're the one to help execute, it's not that you don't get it. You have to be able to process the process of executing this grand vision. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. And especially when you're dreaming so big and so fast. And this is just me. I'm just speaking empathetically. I'm not saying this is how Amy feels. When you were talking, I felt her. You know what I'm saying?
we all felt her.
So,
let's be clear.
So it can be overwhelming in the sense of you're trying to process, okay, what exactly am I going to have to do to make this come to pass? And then you don't stop dreaming. You know what I'm saying?
So this is
absolutely right.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
We're gonna put a pin right there. We're gonna come back.
You just heard the ball. I already know where this is about. So go ahead,
okay, so yes. So that's the problem. The problem is I am like, okay, this is where we're going. This is where we're headed.
Yes.
But then it keeps getting wider, and I'm like, we're focused.
Right.
Let's complete this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Right.
He like, I don't know, Saturn. Like he's all the way out there. Like so far, it is scary. It's like, hey, I'm right here. I'm focusing. I come back. Can you come? And then I can't get a word in because it's like this now. And remember, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I don't have that personality.
Right.
Gotcha.
I have step 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Okay, and then 10 we're finished, right? So we're going to do step 1, then we're going to do step 2,
right?
Then we're going to do step 3. But no, we're not over here no more.
Yeah.
We're in Saturn.
I be trying. Hold on.
And then
you're right.
When I get frustrated, I just stop.
Gotcha.
So that's what I do. I'm not arguing no more. I was a rah-rah. Rah-rah.
And I know when she gets quiet, that's when there's a concern.
So I'm learning.
That's when it get real, when she get quiet.
When she get quiet, I know to come back. Like, hey, hold on, you've been quiet.
So then I just get very quiet about things now because I'm learning that he noticed when I'm quiet instead of when I'm rah-rahing. When I'm rah-rahing, he's like, yeah, I'm still in Saturn. But
when I can't hear,
so then I get quiet and I just quit. I'm quietly quitting, but very loud quitting,
right?
Because I just feel like we should be over here now. We never worked together. He always, he went to work. I went to work. We, in the household, we were in the household together. But other than that, like we never worked so closely together that I think we have a lot of unnecessary arguments.
No. I don't feel like we argue a lot. Like I feel like it comes to a boiling point, and then it happens, and then our arguments are quick. Like about 10, 15 minutes, we done said we back friends and we good. Like because we've been there. We've done the 3-4 days of being mad at each other, or the walking around not talking, passive aggressive. We done with that. Let's talk. Let's stand firm on what we saying. Let's talk. Let's bring it to the table. Let's find out how we can fix it. And a lot of times it does end in me making an apology. You know what, babe? I didn't catch that. What was going on. And I'm not saying that Amy's wrong. I most definitely understand her process. I understand that. What I'm telling her is, well, while you're processing, I got to keep going. And that because it's stuff that's being placed in me that I have to execute. So now what she is not telling you is that everything that when I'm going to Saturn, there's a plan for every single bit of it. Am I right?
Yeah, but we focusing on this.
So let me, because that's all good. That's all amazing. But there's certain things that I'm hearing that. One, of course, me and my wife, we've worked together for years.
Right.
There are certain things that we've learned in working together, but I think our dynamic was a little bit different because we came in working in the same industry.
Right.
And that was a little bit different working in the same industry from the beginning. But what that showed us was we understood the significance of a specific goal. When you have a specific goal, what we do, we define our goals very specifically, and then we ask two questions. What is the benefit of achieving this goal, and what's the consequences if we don't? So when we ask what the consequences and the benefits are, it puts us on the same page. And when we're on the same page, no matter if I'm on Saturn or she on Saturn, we're still grounded in a certain way because we're pushing very specifically towards where we're headed. So I think it's a little bit of specificity.
Yeah, I like that.
So,
Specificity.
say that question again. I mean, the two questions you asked.
He's like,
No, because I want that embedded because I got to focus on something else.
What's the benefit?
What's the benefit?
And then what's the consequence?
if you don't reach the goal?
Yeah. What's the consequence of us not achieving this specific step? I'm talking about, it's a staircase.
Yeah.
It's a staircase. It's a million steps we can take. It's a million things we can do in a day.
Right.
But we have to concentrate on our specific God-ordered steps in this day.
That's good.
So
yeah, that's really good.
I hear what you're saying, and I love what you're saying. And in a typical situation, I would probably agree with what you're saying. Well, I'm not typical. And she's not either.
I don't think what I
does
said
that
is
mean?
it's not typical.
What I mean by is we're in a different position, meaning that where y'all got started very young and y'all were able to grow.
Well, what I'm talking, what I'm saying though, is very, it applies to business across the board. I don't care whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end.
And I understand
So,
that. I understand you.
No, of course.
I most definitely understand what you're saying.
But what you just said was you're not typical. When you say you're not typical, that means it doesn't apply to you. So I just want to make sure that you understand it applies to you.
I understand. I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't apply to me.
Okay, so let me ask this. Why doesn't it apply to you? Because I think that's where we'll find the issue with you and your wife's working together.
And I know that's
so tell us why that does not apply to you.
Because I'm not doing this on my own. What I'm saying is my direction comes from God. It don't come from nobody else. So I'm not going to have the typical structure. I have to do things in His time and not mine. So therefore, because I'm doing things in His timing.
So that's good. So what structure has God given you to be able to communicate to your wife? So now y'all can nail down the specific goals.
Because He's definitely going to give it to you if He gave you the first part.
And that's what we're working on. But you got to understand that God can give me something that's for the both of us, but she has to catch up. Meaning, she's not there yet. She's still walking the path, and I'm being patient. And she knows that I'm walking with her. We walking together. It's just certain things that Amy likes to bring practicality into everything, and I do understand that. And for a typical situation, and even in my past, I would be all for the practicality.
Got you.
Let's set it up and structure. And
So let me ask this. So Amy, do you feel typical?
I don't know how I feel. I ain't gonna lie.
That's
Let's be very clear. I don't know how I feel because sometimes I be looking at Jason like.
No. You look at him how you was just looking at him just now. I was looking like
it be just like that. It be that look, and that's when I be like, hold on, something's missing
because that's when she get quiet.
That's when she gets quiet.
I got you.
So I know I got to reel it in because Amy has told me, and I know B go through this because B is. Sometimes when you say things, you think people understand what you're saying,
right?
But they don't have a clue,
right?
So it's like I'm saying all these things and I'm going hard and I can have a conversation with B all day long. He's going to catch every single thing I say.
Right.
He can have a conversation with me. I'm gonna catch every single thing he says. But then I sit down with others and I'm realizing that they're not moving at the same speed that I'm moving at.
Right.
So because of that, Amy is one of those people. she's highly intelligent. She just processes things differently than me.
Got you.
So because of her process, I'm learning, and this is what I am learning. And I always go back and I apologize by saying, you know what, babe, I didn't catch this, and you know what, maybe that was on me, and I will apologize and try to and correct the behavior. It's just sometimes new behaviors popping up.
Got you.
Yeah,
Because it's a new endeavor for you guys in this aspect.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we fixed this one,
right?
But now I gotta, and
yeah.
So I'm most definitely understanding that and God is showing me. He's teaching me how to deal with it. And when I do talk with her and we come back and everything is, I'm able to articulate myself in a way to where she understands. Because Amy is not a tough cook. She's not an easy cookie to crack. So touching her heartstrings is not easy. Okay. You know, because she has spidey senses. You know, she comes from a different place.
Right.
She's seen a lot of different things.
Right.
She's heard BS from the best of them.
Yeah.
So even when I'm talking, her husband, she still has to process what I'm saying. Even though she know what I'm saying is good, she understands it. She know I'm not saying anything that's going to cause detriment to our family, our home, or anything like that. She still has to process it. It doesn't matter.
Got you.
Yeah, so then allow me to process, because
I have been lately.
So of course I'm gonna bat it to the other court. So for the Adams, we talking about Jay mentioned that he's not typical.
And all you gotta do is just be like, all right.
That ain't what he meant.
No, I get Jay. I get Jay. No, he said, So Jay is not typical.
Okay.
You ain't either.
So
he's not.
Yeah. What do you guys, as far as what Amy is mentioning? What do y'all processing as far as Jay not being typical, Amy not necessarily knowing where she is? I get it. Like, what's your thoughts, Ant?
I get it. When me and Constance first started working together, one, it was like Jay said, I can be a lot. I can be a lot because I'm very calculated. I'm a forecaster. So what I mean by that is most people come home, kick their feet up. I come home, I'm looking at what I'm wearing for the rest of the week, and I'm pulling it out, and I'm looking at my notes, and I'm organizing my stuff and making sure my stuff is straight, and then I'm kicking it because I can kick it now, because when I get up tomorrow, I prepared for it. My wife is different because she's a cross the bridge when you get to it type. I move with urgency. She does based off of the situation. But for me, I'm the on time is late.
I hear you, but now I saw just a little chuckle from Constance. Okay, and I just want to pull.
You want to define the chuckle?
I want to just feel the chuckle for a second.
Let's define the chuckle.
Let's get the little chuckle.
No, I hear what he's saying. He's putting it calmly, but I know these are things that really grind his gears. So I'm chuckling, but I'm chuckling just because he's really maintaining his composure.
I think what they're looking for is, am I telling a lie?
No, we know.
Oh, no. It's definitely the truth.
Okay, so I'll continue. What was I?
She's across it when she gets to the bridge.
Yeah, she's she has a very apathetic approach to things. And I have a very, let's knock it out, let's get it done. Because with what we do, and I tell all of our ambassadors and the people that serve with us, hey, it's always a matter of life and death, because we deal with teenagers. And you just never know what they're going through. So it's like the devil tries to hide in the details. So it's like, okay, if we're having something that we're doing, I'm like, okay, I started off in operations before I started doing what I'm doing now. So it's like, okay, when you say we have to, like Amy was saying with Jay say, hey, we got to go to Saturn. I'm the guy that goes, okay, so the first thing we're going to need is A. The second thing we're going to need is B. And then once we get to B, we got to make sure that the permits are there so that this could be this before we even get to C. So roughly it's going to take us about 6 months to be able to do that. I can probably do it in 4 if we knock this out. My brain is thinking that way. Constance it was in the beginning more of the, okay, so what do you want me to do? And I'm like, well, I don't want you to work for me. I want you to work with me. So we got to align our thinking and how we approach things. So in the beginning, it was hard because I can't change who she is. Nor am I changing who I am.
Of course.
What does that mean?
Well, it's like I've been trained this way since I was a teenager to be how I am, you know, as far as, you know, business, as far as getting things done, as far as delegating, being able to see talents and gifts in people and place them in proper positions and different things like that. So my brain is like where Amy says, focus on this one thing. It's impossible for me to do that because I'm a forecaster. It's, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm just asking because I just want some clarity. So when you said, you know, she changed who she is, but you're not changing who you are, do you feel, because you did explain some great things, some great attributes, but do you feel there's no room for you to change at all?
No. I've definitely changed. What I was talking about was when we first started.
He's saying back
when we first
At that
started.
time.
So at that time, that was what, how many years ago?
Maybe like 12.
About 12.
13.
Yeah, about between 12 and 15 years ago. It was hard, and it almost cost us our marriage.
Yeah.
Because I was stuck on being who I was.
There it is.
And she was having a hard time understanding what I needed her to be. She kept trying to be my admin when I needed her to be my parallel, my partner. You feel what I'm saying?
So where you feel like it clicked, like as far as you guys becoming partners?
Once I hired an assistant.
Okay, so you made provision for her, so you made room for her to
Correct.
operate in a different capacity.
Correct.
So how does that apply to the Colemans and what they're asking? I'm wondering.
He wants me to get an assistant.
I mean,
Well, I think when I hear assistant, I'm hearing making room for. So assessing a situation and then making room for something to change.
had I not, it would have cost us our marriage. Because when you get into things at work and then you go home and I'm like, all right, babe, you know what's going on? Nah, I ain't know what's going on. You just tried to write me up.
Yeah, most definitely.
You just tried to, you know.
Yeah, ain't no writing up. Though.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's like,
ain't no writing up, though.
You know, over here.
You know, it was that. It was hard to turn it on and turn it off, you know, because we're human.
Yeah.
And, you know, and same thing with me, because it's like I would be frustrated at work and that frustration would come home. So it's like something that happened at work, I got an attitude at home now. You know what I'm saying? And after about, 2-3 years of that, 4 years? 5?
I don't even recall.
It was a long time of that. It started weighing heavy on our marriage. And, you know, we had to make some adjustments.
Yeah. So, Constance, in that transition to where y'all began to work a little bit more, I guess, in rhythm, like, what did it feel like for you?
I think it was, the process itself was like enlightening. You know, we married young, and so I think when you start to do business with your spouse, it really highlights different aspects of your personality, just like a marriage does, you know. And business is like another level of the marriage, because it presses on and it puts a little more pressure on you as individuals to work together. And I think that pressure just highlighted different things about both of us that I was able to see, and it kind of magnified it, if you will. So I had an opportunity to really see, you know, the areas that I'm confident and strong in, and the areas that need work.
Right.
And the areas that need work, unfortunately, at that time were the areas he really needed me to be strong in. And so it was kind of like that battle of trying to develop as the needs were. I mean, the days keep coming.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It don't stop. It don't pause for you to develop. So I'm having to develop as we're moving. You know what I'm saying? And so it
In
was
both arenas.
Yeah.
Because, it started off, we had an ice cream business, and it was a lot. It was like a real situation, and at first it was one of those things where she wasn't really with it. It was like she didn't really understand, like, why are you spending all this money on this? Until I came home the first day. When I came home, I remember coming home, throwing a big old wad of money on the bed, and she was like, "What is all of this?" And she quickly got on board.
Yeah.
But doing that plus what we do now, it's one of those things where you can't be stuck on this is the way. It has to be like a progressive, revelatory way of doing things, if that makes sense.
Oh, so you're saying as you're doing business with a spouse, you have to be in a place.
You have to be
where
pliable.
It's fluidity. So talk about that a little bit more.
You just can't be, this is the way it's going to be, and that's just the way it is. I got the cure-all for this, and this is what it is. You got to be able to, unless there's a subordinate. But if you guys are partners, it has to be, okay. I'll tell you what I did to just break it down so it's understandable. In the office, I had to understand my lane. My lane is I'm the face, I'm the speaker. She's the office manager that makes the speaking make sense digitally, personally, in person, digitally, all the way around, and communicates that part. So what I had to learn to do was just, hey, I don't have to be involved in the day-to-day stuff. You do that.
Yeah.
So I had to create lanes that we can be in without me crossing over, because I was a lane crosser habitually. And
habitual line stepper.
I was a habitual line stepper, and I took joy in it because it's like, well, now you see what happens when I come over into the lane, things work better. But that was demeaning and different things like that. And even now, I got to be mindful of it because, I'm sarcastic, and I think it was I think even this morning, I had said something. What was it? I said, babe, what's the plan for the day?
Oh, yeah. He was being a planner, a forecaster.
This sounds like a setup.
No.
What's the plan?
No, this was this morning. I said, babe, what's the plan for the day? Right? So I know, because I asked yesterday what time we had to be here and what we had to do for here. But I also know what I have to do tomorrow.
Right.
Which requires a level of planning yesterday and today. So today I'm like, hey, babe, and this is me trying to get on the same page with my partner. What's the plan for the day? I don't want to just say, hey, this is what we're going to do, because that can be taken the wrong way.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
okay, so babe, what are we on, twin?
Right.
Yo.
We want to be on one.
What's going on, twin?
Yeah.
And
What was my question?
she said, I mean, I don't know. What are you talking about? Like, what?
No.
What was the question?
Don't put it like that.
I don't remember what the question was.
Okay, because that one had kind of a breath on it, but
Only to you.
Talk about it, sis.
so the question was, first of all, let us.
You were saying what you said to me.
Yes, but let us set the scene.
Okay.
We had
That's
a
important.
very long night the night before.
Right.
I was completely exhausted from working like 13 hours the night before.
Me too.
We both were.
Yo.
And so,
Hey, man.
We
and
both
so
were.
when I woke up that morning realizing that we have a major transition happening on our staff. And so I had to wake up out of my sleep, even though I really technically was not like, I'm not ready to get up. But I'm like, I know I have some things I need to finalize in preparation for Sunday. So I get up and I'm just moving. I'm just typing and working and I'm gone. And he came and sat beside me, and he was there if I had a couple of questions, etc. So
No. I woke up, I went downstairs, and I called. I said, hey, babe, You hungry? I'm about to make breakfast.
He tried to make breakfast, right? But I
Right.
didn't have the right grogroceries.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about. But
No, you were setting the scene.
right.
Yo.
So, so I was up there typing and all of that. And so once I got just about done, he was like, "Okay, babe, what's the plan for the day?" I just closed out one task. Like my brain is trying to. So the question when he asked me that, I was like, "What are you referring to?" That was my exact question, verbatim.
Right.
What are you referring to? And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Are we talking like work, or are we talking like podcasts? Like, what are we talking about?"
Because it's a few different lanes.
Right.
Because we have multiple things happening in the day. And I don't know where his mind is in terms of his planning. And so he was like, everything. I mean,
I was like, the plan for the day.
you was like, I mean, all of it.
What I said was, and this was me being facetious, I was like, well, there's 24 hours in a day.
You said all of it is 24 hours in a day.
So our plan for today, Saturday, what's the plan for it? I'm not trying to look at compartmentalizing things. I'm saying all of it, because all of it has to be done. So what's the plan so we can execute, get on the same page? Okay, are we going to Sam's together? Do I need to go to Sam's? Do you need to go to Sam's? Or what time are we meeting up here? Because we know we got to be to taping at 3, that type of thing. And what she said was, and I had to catch myself because she was right. She said, you see, the 24-hour thing, that's not necessary. That's not necessary. I was like, you're right. Because that's my New York sarcasm.
And the crazy part about it, just to interject, you hate when people do that to you.
Yeah, I do.
You can't stand it.
I do.
I'm like, you're a New Yorker that hate New Yorkers.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen that like
Yeah, but when I heard her, she's like, it's like demeaning, it's like degrading. It's like you trying to chump me off. Like I feel like you trying to say I'm dumb or something, and it's not that. It's we've been married 20 plus years.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to, how I'm waking up, how I'm going to sleep. It's like, let's just get it, but I'm learning to just be quiet.
And some of that fluidity that we're talking about.
Yeah. And most of the fluidity is just be quiet. So I nicely text her, I'm moving to the beat of your drum.
Hey, man. Okay.
So when she came upstairs, ready to get dressed, what you're on, I'm on, twin. Let's get dressed. Even though it's 2:10.
So that's a lot. Okay. Cool. We'll let. So listen.
Brian
So
said
you
that's
made some. So Anthony made some amazing points in that dissertation. So we just want to hear our audience chime in on what they think concerning everything he said, because I'm sure they got. No, you said some great stuff, and I'm sure our audience will have some opinion. But what I did get from that was the fact that one, you guys defined some roles.
Facts.
I think with me and my wife, and I wish she was able to be here and speak on her experience, I guess, with how we've grown in business. But the more we've defined roles, the more we've understood who does what. Me, I'll just speak for me. The more I really understand how great she is at what she does, the further faster we go.
Right.
Like I'm listening to my wife so much more now. Like I'm just talking about in regular stuff, like how I would normally move. I move a certain way, and she'll say, "Why don't you do that and do that?" Now the old me, me now, because I've matured and understanding. Man, I listen to my wife.
Right.
I consider what she's saying, because she really do got my back. And she really is. I count her as a second brain. Like I have another brain. Like, and I think she may feel the same for me. Like we have that's my brain outside of my head. You know what I'm saying? It's her, the Holy Spirit, and Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But so the defining of the roles, the being open to listen and to hear, I think that those are the things that have been able to help us grow in business, man. So I think it's been another great episode. But before we go, of course, we want to hear back from the Colemans. I don't know, guys. What do you feel at this point? Did you get anything from that, or we still kind of
No. I got a lot of good points.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate it.
And you know, just to all your points, we use a lot of the same tactics and the things that you guys use as well. Like again, this is new territory for us.
Right.
This is not just new territory for us, but this is also new life for us.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we've transitioned and we've turned into something different. And
Right.
all of this is happening very, very
Right.
fast.
You've evolved.
At
And
the
it's
same time.
At the same time.
That's a
So,
lot, man.
so I'm confident that we'll figure this out.
Yes, absolutely.
And I don't believe because for me, I'm waiting on her to tell me what her role is because she can define her own role. She's brilliant. She has gifts beyond my belief. So everything that Brian just said about Corinne and who Corinne is and what she brings to the table is the same way I feel about my wife.
Good, man.
So I know how brilliant she is. I listen to everything she says, but I also know that sometimes she operates a little bit in fear. And I'm not in a place where I can listen to fear.
Right.
I have to keep moving. So I'm never going to just go too far to where I can't be like, hey, I'm right here, but I'm also working over here. And I'm doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So that's just me
Yeah, that's good stuff.
doing forecasting the same way that you forecast. I just forecast. I say the same way that you do things. I do it the exact same way. So I'm just like I'm planning ahead, doing this. I'm not done with this. I'm working on this.
Right.
But also while I'm working on this, I'm also working on this.
Yeah.
So I think it's just us having and for her too. Also, it's about time, making sure that I'm giving time to our relationship. Feeding our relationship, and that she don't want me to get too far off to where I negate something or forget. Or so I get it, and I am. That's why I say I apologize, and I always listen and come back to it. So
Yeah, man.
we learned a lot from you guys,
That's good
man. I
stuff.
really appreciate
appreciate
everything that was said. And I'm
stuff.
sure that we'll most definitely give y'all a different story the next
Yeah.
time.
We're all
Marriage is
still
about evolving.
growing. It's all
And
evolution.
I definitely just want to say congratulations to y'all, man, because
appreciate
we've
it. Same to you.
seen, like,
Yeah.
for real,
Same
man, like,
to y'all.
watching y'all, like, leaps and bounds, man, doing y'all thing, man.
For sure.
So, yeah,
Thank you, guys.
good stuff.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, this has been another episode of Family by
FBC.
Choice, where we are helping you navigate through life by having real, transparent conversation.
Come on.
Come on,
Until
man.
next time.
Yeah.
Holla.